Well, I was a mess yesterday, wasn't I? Today, I'm not under the influence of anything, I hope. Maybe because my chairman doesn't love me as much in the West Ham world as they do in AFC Wimbledon Return to Glory. So now you've seen how not to do it yesterday, hopefully I'm about to show you how you're meant to do it today. In a parallel universe, West Ham United decided that Slaven Bilic wasn't the right man to lead West Ham to glory at the London Stadium. Instead, they chose this man. Hi there, my name is JNO. What's up guys and welcome to the West Ham world. We are in season number 4 and currently we are about 14 games in. We are in December, a very busy period in the Premiership. We have 2 big games for you today, but unfortunately one of them doesn't have as much importance as I was hoping, but we'll get into that shortly. First, we will look at the table and you can see that we are currently sitting at 7th on 25 points. The same amount of points as Watford and Sunderland. We're only 1 point behind Arsenal, so there's not much between 5th and 8th. And then of course Chelsea are sitting there on 23 points, so they're only 1 win if we lose away from going above us. And of course 28 points for Man United and Man City. So the only teams that really have got a big distance away from us is Tottenham Hotspurs and Liverpool. Today we are going into a game against Arsenal and Juventus. We have a bit of a mixed history with Arsenal. Sometimes we're rather good against them and sometimes we're not. And then we've got Juventus, who we do have a defeat to this season. We lost 3-0. And unfortunately for us, if we go to the Champions Cup group stage, you can see that we are knocked out of the Champions League. It's official. Leverkusen and Juventus are going through. Even if I win today, I believe our previous results against Leverkusen, if Leverkusen don't win, means we're in the Euro Cup. Fortunately for us, Ligia cannot overtake us, so we still have European football, and maybe we can win the Euro Cup before we move on to the Champions League again next season. But of course, first of all, we have to get there. So I was hoping for this to be a much bigger episode today, but unfortunately it isn't. So we'll go into the match preview. And as you can see, Arsenal's usual formation currently is a 4-2-3-1. They have some new players in their side like Morata, Fekir and Gaia at left back. Is it Gaia or Gaia? I was going to say Gaia, but I feel like it's Gaia. And we have 8 previous meetings, Arsenal winning 4 of them. We drew 1 and we've beat them 3 times in this save. If we have a look at our key players, we can see that apart from in goals, we're getting outshone in most departments. Mesut Ozil with 5 assists to Luan's 3. Shots on target, Alvaro Morata getting 32 to Draxler's 18. And shots, 60 shots by Sanchez to 29 from Luan. So we are going into this game and that is of course my experiment of going strikerless, but I don't think we're going to do that in this game today. So we want him back on complete forward support with move into channels, and we want him back to advanced playmaker on attack with hold up the ball. Never mind, I'm pretty sure that is the correct way this formation's meant to play. Okay, everything's now sorted eventually. We are going with the usual formation, the 4-2-2 or the 4-1-4-1 or 4-4-1-1, whatever you want to call it. But we have put in Lanzini as a wide playmaker on attack, moving Draxler over to the right and moving Van Ginkel just behind Luan. I think I may bring on Berahino as well actually for Luan. But other than that, the back 4 is pretty similar to usual. Wisdom, Saul and Oxford. Gibbs coming in for Ben Davis at the moment with Tolisso sitting just in front of them. At the moment, Van Ginkel isn't playing as well as he has previously. He's missed a few chances which I thought Mr. Superman would score. Lanzini, however, has come in and been on fire. Maybe I should play Lanzini at advanced playmaker, but I'm trying to fit all these midfielders in. I do believe these 4 individuals are my best midfielders. So hopefully we can figure out a way to get them all into this tactic. In the summer I may try out a different tactic to fit them all in, but we shall see. Okay, so Arsenal are playing their usual 4-2-3-1. There's no surprises in the actual lineup either. 4-2-3-1 is something we're good at against with our current formation and tactic, but this is Arsenal, who we have lost more to than we have beaten. And it is at the Emirates Stadium, so this could be a difficult fixture for us to get some points in. Okay, so we are kicking off. A win here today will see us go above Arsenal, that's for guaranteed. So maybe 5th, because at the moment it says we're on 6th, which I presume means Watford are not playing right now today. I just don't feel confident at the moment in the West Ham side. I think I have spells in the season where I believe my West Ham side have made a turn around a corner and are suddenly brilliant. And then I have parts of the season where they just do not perform to the level I have seen them perform at. And we get beaten a lot, whereas, Bellerin is through. Plenty of time to pick out a pass. Great defending by someone in the box there. Lanzini foul, free kick. I thought that was a penalty. I don't like free kicks against good players though. That is why, because that almost went in. They have had so many more shots than us. I know going attacking seems a bit strange, but I have a feeling that there should be lots of space in behind, so I want them to try and take advantage of that. In fact, I may even bring the defensive line further forward. Here we go. Berahino has 2 players to beat if he runs. Finds Draxler out on the right. Will my change in tactics work immediately? Can Draxler find someone in the box? That has to be Van Ginkel. Superman is back. Superman is back at the club, scoring another goal. We are currently sitting in 5th. I'm hoping that was my tactical changes which have made that happen. With us getting no chances, it means we were getting pressed back, which means there should be space behind. And it looks like with a long ball to Berahino, then Berahino playing the ball over the top to Draxler. Draxler just had to find a man in the box, and Mr. Superman was there. I could go defensive now. I should have probably done it already. Damn it, I've gone to pause it to change my tactic and it's gone in. Alright, I still think they're going to press us though to try and get a winner. So we're going to keep the line defensive, or deep, sorry. That is annoying. I literally thought I haven't changed it yet. Just as I was about to change it, Rajkovic can't get it around the post. It's half time, so we'll change it now. My plan here is to go to... Should we go higher tempo? We'll stay on higher tempo. We're going to be more disciplined. I'm hoping to make this counter. So we're going to actually change it to counter. And we're going to click OK, and we're going to hope that can do something against this Arsenal side. Berahino's playing well, of course. Why can't we get a consistent striker? Wait, we've got a player switching off as well. That's always good. Can we get anything good out of this team talk? Van Ginkel, Superman. Of course he's happy. There we go. That's a bit better. Not ideal. You know what? No, Berahino found the pass over to Draxler though. I'm going to ignore that 6.4 for now. That might not be the best decision. But it's the decision I've made, so deal with it. Because by the time you're watching this, it's too late. No matter what you're shouting at me, it's too late. I've already either made the mistake or done something brilliant, as Arsenal now very slowly bring this ball forward. We've got plenty of men behind the ball. Only Van Ginkel and Berahino are forward. Morata just jogs past my defence. They're just like, yeah, well, have a shot, mate. We're not going to even challenge you. Alright, we're going to have a cheeky little team talk. We're just going to tell them to keep focused, so cheeky, calm and concentrate. A draw will do me, to be honest, against Arsenal away. I mean, a win, of course, would be better, and we need the points. But if we don't let them score now, as we just let Fekir run straight at our goal, we have stopped Arsenal from getting 3 points as well, which means they can't get further away from us. As we approach the 60th minute mark, and as I'm not under the influence, I will actually make a substitution. Will Hughes is playing shocking, which is unusual for Will Hughes. So we'll bring on Klaassen. I'm going to put Berahino on the right, because we don't want to risk Julian Draxler getting sent off. Is this the kind of game you give to a youngster? I don't think it is. He wasn't brought up through the West Ham youth, so I'm not going to think he knows it's a derby. Well, he does know it's a derby, but I don't think that matters to him that much. So we're going to bring Luan on. who feels I lack credibility. Fantastic. You lack goals, Luan, but you don't see me complaining, do you? Alright, this isn't looking good as Gaya has a lot of space, passing to Alexis, who we know can make something happen. That ball trickled slowly across the line. So Alexis now puts a cross in. Can we just hold out? I think that's what we've got to go for. Hold out, hope to get a break. What happened there? Okay, he was picking the ball up to oh my god. He was picking the ball up to throw it out for a corner, but I thought Rajkovic had just dropped it and was letting the player score. Don't make anything happen now as we click tighten up. Please, someone win a challenge. There we go, we've won a header. Of course, we don't win the ball, we don't win possession, but we actually won a header. Someone get possession of the ball and hit them. They've only got 2 men back to our 2. Good save there by Rajkovic, just over. Or was it over anyway? Looked like it may have been over anyway. Never mind. Ignore my commentary. Okay, we've got 10 minutes to hold on. Just do it, guys. Hold on. We'll be happy with a draw. Okay, this can't be. Don't you dare. Don't you dare with 2 seconds left. Thank God for that. So a 1-0 draw against Arsenal. Sometimes we're the type of team that would go and smash that game, but today it was a bit of a struggle, but we've managed to go out there and get the draw. If only I'd gone defensive a bit quicker, maybe we could have held on for a 1-0 win. But I'm going to tell the boys well done, that was a pretty good result. Luan loses focus because he said, calm down, don't say anything rude about your players. So what that has done to the table is we have moved up to 6th, but Watford and Sunderland have a game in hand. If they win their games in hand and Chelsea win their game, who knows where we can end up, all the way even at 9th if it doesn't go our way. So we'll now go to the Juventus game, which doesn't matter, but that does mean we could try something a bit new. Okay guys, so before we get into the game against Juventus, we have a bit of news to cover. Tolisso has come to us today and wants to talk about leaving for AS Monaco. AS Monaco, the side that I think we've got a pretty damn good record against. But I suppose Monaco are pretty secure as the second best team in League One. We can have a quick look at the table. 39 points Olympique Lyon, so the top 3, they're pretty secure in the top 3. They've not won any point recently in their history, but he has told us he wants to go to Monaco to join Louis van Gaal, Thomas Lemar, who we want. Maybe I could trade. But because of that, I've told him, look mate, no, sorry, there's no offer. So I don't know what you're going on about. He's not very happy with us right now. His morale stinks and we have dropped him. We don't really have a really good defensive midfielder though, apart from him. I don't think we've got anyone with really good tackling and marking compared to Tolisso's, which is a shame. I'm not even sure we've got anyone in the youth that could really... Christopher Ayer, 12, marking 10, anticipation 13. Could we have the solution? I'm tempted to give him a sub role. Can I have Mark Van Ginkel not even on the bench? You know what, we're going to go for it, because this game doesn't really matter, so we're going to give Van Ginkel a rest, because I think I've played him every single time that we've played any game. But we are trying a 4-2-3-1. Now, I've been playing this in my own save offline with Arsenal. Now, Arsenal have a lot of good players, and I brought in a lot of good players. But 14 games into the season, and the formation is undefeated. 14 wins or draws on the trot, with an epic game against Liverpool, which I did put on Twitter as well, which ended up 4-4. We came back from 4-1 down. So we're going to try the tactic. I've saved it. And I'm going to try it today against Juventus because Arsenal beat Juventus with this tactic. So I'm hoping West Ham can as well. And the key to it is we focus on players with flair and dribbling up top. And these 4 are the players that have the best flair and dribbling. So hopefully, with these 2 just supplying them, they can cause some damage. This might not work at all because, to be honest, they've had very little training with it at all. They've had no training with it. I've literally just loaded it into the game. We are playing a very defensive looking 3-5-2 or 5-3-2, whatever you want to call it, which means they are going to have a lot of men behind the ball, so we may need to pull them out. So we're going to see how it starts. We're going to go and tell them, good luck lads. Let's just see how this goes, because you know what, the game doesn't mean anything. A win would of course be lovely. It's not like Legia are going to beat Leverkusen anyway, but I think it doesn't matter even if they did. This formation though is a lot simpler than a lot of the formations I use. It's mainly about focusing the attacking players on causing the damage, and the defensive players, which is only 3 of them, a deep line playmaker on defender and 2 centre backs. Their job is to stay back, be that cushion in case Juventus get a counter attack. And we are not getting any chances yet, which is not good. So we're going to go into our instructions and we're going to go slightly deeper, try and pull them out a bit. We'll see how that works. Pjanic now with a cross though, and it's come out to Vieto. Vieto has space to run into, however Davis does get a clearance away. Unfortunately, Berahino isn't far enough forward to be running onto it. Do we win the header? We do. Lanzini now has the ball. Lanzini gets a second chance to pass it to Berahino. Berahino back to Lanzini. Lanzini takes a shot from distance. It's not too far wide, but at least we've finally got a shot on goal. And we have the only highlight so far in the game as well, which may be telling us something, but to be honest, I do not like the amount of chances they've had. Lanzini now with a cross. Could this be some sort of counter? Berahino does find Tillemans with the ball. Plays it to Oxford, plays it out wide to Lanzini. Lanzini into Davis, there's Draxler, but Berahino scores. I mistake Draxler for Davies, but Draxler finds Berahino in the box, and we are 1-0 up. Having brought that defensive line back, it looks like we can now get in behind their defence as we've drawn them out. At least I think that's what's happening. I may just be very lucky. I like to think I know what I'm doing, but that doesn't mean I do know what I'm doing, I just think I do. Okay, hopefully we're going to win the ball here. Byron finds Luan. Luan now running down the line. Could we be trialling out this formation a bit more in this game? Luan's cross is a bit poor though. A victory against Juventus is nothing to laugh at. So if this formation does get a good performance, I think that's Lanzini finds Berahino. Berahino just about keeps it on. Finds the ball to Luan. Luan crosses it. Draxler really should have put that on target. Really, Draxler, that was a bit poor. We've had 1 clear-cut chance and 2 half chances, so despite the fact they've had more attempts, we probably have the better of the chances. I'm going to tell them we're pleased with how things are going, so keep it up. Sam Byram is sitting on a yellow card and probably doesn't have the match sharpness, so he might come off soon. But see, if I just play the game not drunk, I can potentially get results. I've not got the result in this game, but potentially. I've looked at Tillemans' stats recently. Tillemans actually looks really good at the moment. I feel like I need to give him a prolonged run in the team. But dropping Van Ginkel just seems like blasphemy. Lanzini with the cross now. Okay, Draxler should pick that up. He heads it back in. I'd rather he controlled it. Again, he heads it back in. Third header back in. Alright, finally we control it. Tillemans plays it to Lanzini. Lanzini with a great turn. Luan is through. 2-0. Could this formation change turn our season around? And as we're actually talking about it now with a change of formation, I personally am of the belief that just changing the formation and asking the players to do certain things isn't always the only solution, or the whole solution, sorry. I do think sometimes you actually need to look at the players you're putting in those positions. I've deliberately picked as creative as of players as I could in the front 4 position. That sentence probably came out awfully. I promise I'm not under the influence. We're going to bring on Aya because of our late realisation that he could potentially be our new defensive midfielder. But sometimes you have to have a vision of what you're about to play, what kind of football you want to play, and then pick the players for it. There's been plenty of people that have had saves where they pick a player, the scout says they're awful, they're playing them out of position, but they play out of their skin because it just suits them, the style of play. They put the right player with the right attributes in the right position, even if they're not that comfortable. As Higuain gets the ball to Seijas? Lionel Seijas. I think Seijas is how you should say it. Okay, we're going to look at the formation now. Potentially tell him to tighten up and become more disciplined. That's potentially. Okay, we're definitely going to say tighten up because we are winning at the moment. And then as soon as we can go into instructions and be more disciplined. Do I fancy my team to keep the ball? I'm not going to click keep the ball. Hopefully that's not a mistake. We still have had the better of the clear-cut chances and the half chances. That could mean nothing now though. Should we go to counter? You know what? Oh dear, here we go. It's 2-2. Oh, crap on a stick. Should we go for it? Why not? YOLO. It's not like this game actually matters. Who is Seijas? I know who Vieto is, but who is Seijas? We may have to look at him after this game. So we're not going to change the defensive line because that seems to be what got us 2-0 up in the first place. Going to take off, be more disciplined though. Gone back to control. And we're going to put the tempo up. And we're going to tell the boys to push forward. Let's grab that winner, boys. Treat it like the game means something, even if it don't. I'm not talking to you, Juventus. Great tackle by Wisdom there. Luan now has it to Tillemans. Great ball over the top to Berahino. Can Berahino finish? How have you missed that rebound? There's no way you've missed that rebound. Oh, I need a world-class striker and I need one quick. That was an awful miss. As Aya now finds Berahino. Berahino plays it out wide to Davies. Davies to Draxler. Inside to Lanzini. 3-2. Pause. Team talk. Tighten the hell up, please. And we're going to go counter. Great ball by Davies here through to Draxler. Draxler seems to find the balls inside to either Lanzini, Berahino, Luan, whoever. He finds the ball inside and it's beautiful. I love it. I've only just got the chance to change it. Counter now. We have Draxler on the left. Draxler's running forward. Draxler finds Lanzini. Lanzini skips past his man. Oh, wow. Come on. I need better finishers. I've got the flair. I've got the creativity. I don't have the finishing. I said I don't have the finishing, and Lanzini almost pulls out an absolute screamer. We're actually beating Juventus. If I'd just gone to 4-2-3-1, if I'd discovered that it was so effective in my Arsenal save, which I only just started recently just for a bit of fun, if I'd discovered it a week earlier, could we still be in the Champions League? Potentially. Only problem is the boys aren't that familiar with it. But not being familiar with it and winning 3-2, is it time for a change? In the comments down below, you tell me, should we just change to 4-2-3-1? Because it's got a massive victory against Juventus. And is Aya our new defensive midfielder? As Tillemans takes a shot, gets blocked, but there we have it, 3-2. Two great results, to be fair. One with the tactic we've been using all season, the 4-4-2. But then, just because this game didn't mean anything, we tried out the 4-2-3-1. And we get a massive victory against Juventus. Now, fair enough, Juventus didn't have to play to qualify, but they did have to play to get first place in our group. And potentially, they've lost that by not getting the win here today. I said good win. Congratulate the team. How have I got that many confused and demotivated? Alright, from a 6.8 to an 8.4, we're going to say that was the sort of reaction I was after. Still seems confused. Wow. How? No, you didn't do any better anyway, so I'm not saying nothing to you. Maybe they've been affected by me not giving in to Tolisso. That's what I'm assuming that is down to, as I should have just looked at the group, but I didn't. Luva Carson, because of us beating Juventus, we have done Leverkusen, one of my bogey teams in the game, a favour. They have gone through in first place with a win over Legia. Juventus could only take second because we took points from them. So at least we had an effect on the group. We may not have been the top team, but on 10 points, we are actually, if I could look at the other groups, the highest scoring third place team in the Champions League. We just came across Juventus and Leverkusen, and if we just had any sort of easy group, we could still be in the Champions League. Anyway guys, thank you so much for tuning in as always to the series. If you want to support the channel, go check out my Patreon. We currently have 3 Patreons supporting the channel right now. Subscribe if you're new to the channel and you're enjoying this series or you enjoyed this episode. Make sure to hit that like button for a great result against Juventus. I've been JNO, you guys have been awesome, and remember, it's all about the game.